what's happening, everybody? This is Can I Get More Podcasts in my monitor. I am Johnny Ruckus. I hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening to last week's episode, part 1 with David Drejas, the man from OUTDrejas. And we got part 2 today. So I'm just going to stop yakking. We're going to get right to it. So Dave Drejas, take it to the Matthews Bridge. So how long has your band been like your band right now?
I'm bad at this question. I have a spreadsheet that has every show we've ever played on it. And I could tell you for sure. So I'm smart enough to back up to know I'm bad at this.
Sure.
I would guess that Ani's been in the band for like a while. I don't know, 3-4 years. Okay. And then Tyler, Ani plays keyboard. Tyler, the bass player, he came next. Our bassist, we were actually coming home from Summer NAMM, and our bassist at the time just had a lot going on in life and exited the band on the car ride home via telephone call. Couldn't make the show, the NAMM show, which is a big conference kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Ani was dating Tyler, still is. So he was in the car. So we were, it was weird. We were without a bassist for only a minute. That's kind of how we stole. And we had shows booked too. Like we were opening for Shaman's Harvest. We were opening for them in 3. So we needed to fill. It wasn't a disrespectful move of fine, fuck you, see you later. It was literally what are we going to do? We have a show in 3 days.
Yeah.
What do we do with that? So he's probably been in it, 2-3 years. And then Jeremy, our drummer, Tyler's old band disbanded. And Jeremy was sitting there without a band. And that dude's way too good at drums to not be in a band, And so then, and we had our 6 or 7 drummers on speed dial, where we were, hey, can you play this show? Can you play that? Nobody could give us a long term. We were playing for a while with Jake D, who I think was 13 years old at the time, and Jake D is amazing, especially for his age. But without that, he's actually just amazing. He's already good enough to be amazing. You can look him up. And it was fun playing with him, but then you can go back to school. You know what I mean? It was never supposed to be a permanent thing.
Yeah.
And we met him at, opening for his other band he used to be in, but that was actually, one part of that was weird was people would ask me, oh, is that your little brother? No. Is that your cousin? No. Are you not related to this little kid playing in what's going on here? But that was the only part that was no, he's just a cool guy. His parents are right there. They come to every show, and it just was fun. He actually did the drums on Folsom. He went in the studio free of charge for us and laid stuff down before Jeremy was in the band. We didn't have Jeremy, and we wanted to do some stuff, and so he stepped up, and he's awesome. I would very much check him out. He's already got more endorsements than all of us.
Well, that's it. And when he was when you recorded that song, how old was he? Probably.
I think he was 13 or 14, maybe.
When you guys were Jesus. So yeah, he's going to be really good because if you're 13 or 14 years old and can go into a studio and nail it,
he one-tracked it. He one-tracked the song. Seriously, our biggest problem was that he played it so well that we didn't make him play it more than once. And then when we were mixing it, we were looking to just add a little bit of whatever here and there, and it wasn't there because we just had one track because that's all that he needed to do. So it was wow, he did a great job. So I definitely want to give him a shout out. Just Jake D, Okay. But yeah, I mean, he's already cooler than all of us. Like when Ray Luzier comes to town from Korn, like I think they're friends because he always gets to just hang out with them.
Okay.
It's just like, oh yeah, Korn is in town. So I was just hanging out with Korn, like kid's a rock star and he's a better dude. He's cool. There's no ego. And there totally could be. There totally could be. And there's not. So you got to love that.
Sounds like it.
So Jeremy came in and I think he's been in it for about 2 years, and he came in and he's been like, what's really cool about Jeremy is he wasn't on all the songs, and he still acts like he was. He still promotes them like he was, and he's owned them live. Like he plays his version live, and his versions he tries to take some stuff from the recording, because that's how we presented the song. This is our version, but we all kind of you change it up a little bit live. We've never tried. Like there's some guitar solos that I learn, and there's some I don't.
Yeah,
and you just up on the spot because it just is a cooler and more intense atmosphere to do it that way, and it's, you can shred in a particular key and the point is you're shredding. It's the attitude. It's not the notes. Whereas there's other solos where you're playing a certain kind of a melody or whatever, and it is about the note, so you kind of decide which ones you actually want to bother learning. But no, Jeremy's been extra cool because I don't know how many people, especially with his talent level, would go into a project, work as hard as he does, and then not even necessarily have been the one on the recording. Like that's really cool. That's a very selfless, that's like what people talk about a team-oriented person. Like that's what that means. He's all in on the band, and it's not about him. It's about the band. And that's why, like that, if he's going to act that way, like if we're going to have that sort of mentality going on in the band, I can't say it's all about me anymore. Yeah. That's not doing due diligence to all of the awesome chemistry and, the culture of our band. So shout out to that.
Yeah, shout out to all of them for damn sure. Yeah, that's a mark of professionalism and being I lost what I was gonna say exactly, but it's respecting the material. It was there before he joined.
If you want to hear Jeremy go nuts, he did the Ain't No Sunshine drum solo and stuff, So that was him. That was him going crazy.
Yes, and okay, yeah, you put that out. What was that? Was that earlier this year or was that last year? I can't quite remember.
No, that was the one that came out last time. That was our last. That used to be our newest song.
Okay,
before last week.
Yeah, I listened to that because I'm a fan, obviously. So it's like I listened to that right away and just the whole because everybody had a section, right?
Yeah, everyone did their solo.
Yeah,
so it started with me because I'm an asshole and I wanted to go first, and for that it was fun, man. I've got my Black Star amp, and that's my main amp, but then sometimes in the studio, when you have all these other really awesome, expensive amps at your disposal in your studio, sometimes you'll blend it with stuff. So you can get like a super unique tone.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. So I had 3 amps, Black Star being the primary tone, turned up to 11. And I had headphones on to kind of, you wear those when you're tracking, but they also help your ears if you're putting yourself in a really loud environment. And they were all turned up all the way. And then I was kneeling about this far away from the cab with the guitar so I could get that awesome feedback. and I'll never be able to play that solo. And I just know that. But it doesn't matter because I'm running around the crowd anyway. So who cares, you know? So it was just, I needed to lay something that was cool enough to work for the record. But to be honest, I think the rest of the band did better solos than I did on that song. I mean, I think Tyler incorporated sweep picking on a bass with like chords, and it was cool. You know, it wasn't so technical that it'll lose people. Like it had enough of a pocket to it, you know, and it was cool. Ani's keyboards solo to me is very memorable and sounding, you know, like, and I mean, I even play it air keyboards live when she does it, you know, because it sticks out in your head. You know what note's coming next in your, because it's kind of got its own iconicness to it. And then Jeremy just hits just a metric fuck ton of drums in a short amount of time. And he does it all in time, and that's the best compliment you can give a drummer, you know? So that's just, he just goes crazy. Yeah, he's like Animal from the Muppets back there on that, and it was cool. So
yeah, the performance is you're there. You're but the performance, just from an outside dude, just being a fan, the performance from the whole band, as I've kissed all your asses enough. Yeah, it's fantastic. So you should definitely be proud of that.
Well, I appreciate it, man, but you're not an outsider because you've played on that song before.
Well, no. Yeah, no one wants to hear me fucking solo. That was I saw that video, you know, they posted that video and I'm like, oh, just skip me. Oh.
Well, I don't know why. I thought it was I mean, it's about having fun.
It is.
It's not about anything else.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was having fun. You look like you were having fun. Yeah. So what other details am I missing?
Yeah,
you know,
just like that's, you know, you want to do better, cool. But yeah, no, either way, it was fun regardless. Yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody always wants, you know, I mean, there's shows that I play that I'm like, fuck, I wasn't very good tonight, but you need to just make I think that's an important thing for any band to realize is you need your bad to still be a certain level of good.
Yeah.
Your best isn't going to come out every time. You have to try. Yeah. Your attitude has to come out, but like your actual performance, you can't control it other than your attitude and your effort. It's not always going to be there. But if you can make your bad still be tolerable, you're good.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like to play, and that's what's happening, if in your mind you could have done better and you thought you're off that, I still think that your bad was good, and that's a compliment if that's your opinion of it. So I enjoyed it.
I appreciate that, man.
How's that for fucking optimism, huh?
You can't. Damn, you know, if anybody gets anything out of this, is just be fucking positive, because it's like I said earlier, it's fucking infectious with you, man, and that's one of the many traits that more people need. You know, that's for damn sure.
I appreciate it, man.
Sure. Okay, so you're sponsored by Black Star. Were you?
We got a couple. I want to make sure I say the others. We have Mogami Tables, which that's amazing.
Yeah.
Those cables, when you're in high school and you're like at Guitar Center and you want to you ask where the cables are, and they're like, well, you got these shitty cables for $20 or you got the Mogamis for $60. And you're like, well, I can't afford that. You know, that's pretty cool. We're on their website, you know, and they give us a great deal on it, you know, so it became affordable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But what I will say is, you know, they're expensive, but I treat my cables like shit, and it is never I break cables all, and I've never broken my Mogami. It's going on years. I mean, it's lived longer than some pets. So that's and then we also have Killer Q guitar straps. Their division is Strapworks. They're out in Oregon.
Okay. And
they take real good care of us. If you look, our guitar straps are all customized. You know, they got got our names on them, and they got mine has the bear in the blue suit from our demo album, that we didn't want to release on Spotify, so that we still didn't have an actual album released. The artwork on that, so they did an awesome job, and they always, whenever our paths cross, they always take us out to dinner, and they make really cool stuff too. Good. Their stuff is cheap for how good it is too. You can get a guitar strap with any sort of color or anything printed on it that you want, and it's like $20 or something. So, and it's nice strap. Like if more people knew about them, if they had like a Guitar Center deal or something, like they'd be very much like a household kind of a gear. They're the quality, the product's there. They just need to working on their distribution of it. They're really cool.
Cool.
So, and then, Ani plays a Dexabel keyboard, and they gave us a really, really great deal on that. I don't think we're officially endorsed by them, but like, we just appreciate how nice they've been to us. The president of the company was the first person to like Folsom on Facebook when it came out. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, they're out of Italy. They just came to the States a couple of years ago. So they aren't as household either as some of the other keyboard companies, but they're way better. They're really good. They're really cool. So those are the other ones. Those are the other ones. So appreciate you letting me plug them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll put links in the show notes and stuff. Hopefully I remember. I hopefully will, but yeah, I wanted to, I want to get into a little bit of guitar nerdetry because that's how we roll, right? Okay, so what did you what Black Star are you playing right now? What's the model?
It's a Series 1 head.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I actually got the 50 watt head, so a 50, a 100, and a 200. Yeah. And the shredder in me wanted to get the 200. But I just thought when I was, listening to them online and playing with them and, the research I was doing, I just thought the 50 sounded better. So you don't really need it to be louder than that ever nowadays. No. It's not like back in the 80s where that's your sound, they're always telling me to turn it down. So I've never actually gotten to play it, all 50 watts of it.
No, that's
it's maximum, So that's, Series 1 head.
Yeah. Okay. The old guitar player, my buddy, that I said something before that you guys would probably get along with. He's got the exact same head, and actually the last recordings that 215 did, I borrowed that head. So you want more tones, right? So I found that the lead tone on that that's what I predominantly use that amp head was for leads. It sounded it cut. The mids it had a kind of a, not a strange mid, but it's a mid focused amp, so it just cut. Yeah. So yeah, it seems solid.
Definitely. That's why I like using it as my primary is, I've compared it with other amps that like one of the other amps that I own is a Schecter Hellwind.
Okay.
It's the Sinister Gate that they came out with.
Yeah.
Schecter gave me a killer deal on that. That was like a $3,000 or $4,000 amp. And at Summer NAMM, they gave me the floor model for $1,000. And I just put it in my van and drove home. And so, that is a cool amp too. But the mids on it are just dog shit. They're not good. The highs are really good.
Yeah.
And the lows are too. But, it's not a really great amp to play live unless you're going to have a Black Star with it or something, because you need your mids in your guitar. That's important. And we don't have a rhythm guitar player. Like, I'm lead, I'm rhythm, and I'm vocals. Yeah. So I need that to be a rhythm guitar. More so, like, you can just make it fucking loud and it's a lead guitar in a sense, if you need to.
Yeah.
But you need, when you're not trying to be really loud, you're trying to fit in with the group, you need your mids. So yeah, it's the best amp I've ever heard for mids. It's definitely, that's what it's good at.
Well,
and that's the most important to be good at. So
it does the thing that you need it to do, which is exactly what it is. Yeah, that Hellwind. Well, it's a modern metal amp, so it's mid scooped. Mm-hmm. So that's if you have you put a tube screamer on it, and I'm sure it would come back. That's what would unlock that. I bet, is you put a tube screamer on it, and then it would open up. Then I guarantee that's what. Okay. Because that's the modern metal tone now. I mean, I have a 6505 combo, but sure. I do the tube screamer thing, and it does the thing. My Corey, who was in 215, the lead guitar player, he now has a 5150. Well, you put the tube screamer in it, it does the
tribute
thing.
To him.
Yeah, so it's
rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah, yeah, it's the 5150. It's the EVH 5150. The 50-watt head. You put a tube screamer in it, it does the thing. So that's like the modern metal thing. Sure. So obviously the Black Star does you. That's exactly what it is. But to unlock the Schecter amp, I bet you put a tube screamer in it and you'd be like, oh, there it is. But you don't have to.
I'll try it. I appreciate the tip. I definitely. The Black Star is my go-to, but the Hellwind's fun. The Hellwind, that was kind of, when you're like younger and you see something cool you can't afford, and then later on in life you can afford it, and you're like, I still want that, with that, since they gave me such a killer deal on it, and it was, I guess it didn't sell very well, probably because people probably didn't want to spend that kind of coin on a Schecter when they didn't really know them as an amp company, But it's a cool amp. I mean, the noise gate on it's actually pretty sweet. Yeah. That's kind of a cool feature, and it's loud.
Well, that's probably 100 watt at least, right?
Yeah, it's 100 watt.
Yeah, so it's fuck. Well, 50 watt in the tube is loud as fuck. And I'm looking to get I'm interested in one of those PRS, the Mark Trelawney amps, the MT15. It's a 15 watt. Sure. It's a 15 watt, and I'm sure that's louder than absolute shit too. So, it's right. It's not like when we were kids and we were playing a solid state, and you have to turn the thing all the way up. I thought this was supposed to be 100 watts. Yeah, like 5 watts you can play with a fucking band now. So,
right. Yeah. I still got my Line 6 Spider, man.
What series?
Still got it.
What series?
I don't even know.
I had the...
it's probably 20 years old now.
Okay. So, I had the Spider 2. And that thing was...
That might be it.
Yeah.
It might be the 2.
Okay. Yeah, it's...
It had 4 buttons on it.
Yeah.
And it didn't have... Like, that was how you changed your... It had like crunch and metal and insane and clean.
Yep.
And that was it. There wasn't any other, like, they've added some more stuff to it now.
Do you have built-in effects then too?
Yeah, they were just knobs.
Yep.
So I think it's the same one. I think it was a 2. Yeah. But I still got it's fun once in a while to mess around. I mean, it's not gonna hold a candle to the tube amps, but it brings you back a little bit, to when you're just holding an E minor chord in your basement, going, and it's that first time you could make a cool noise on a guitar,
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, those. You know, I had one for a long time, and then I moved on from it. And then I was like, I saw one that it was super cheap, and I was like, oh, I could use a backup amp, right? This sounded okay. And then I picked it up and I plugged it in. And I was like, why did I think this sounded okay? This sounds like dog shit. I soon got rid of that one quickly too, but well, we'll continue with the nerditry here. Okay, so you're a Les Paul dude.
Yeah, I like my Les Paul a lot.
Yeah, see, yours felt nice, but for me, like, I don't know, I know they do a thing, and like, you know, I do a lot of demos and stuff, so it would be neat to have a guitar that did that thing. You know, I have a couple Fenders, I have a Chapman, I have a PRS, yada yada. But, you know, the Les Pauls, they do a thing. You know, so I kind of struggle. You can
do that thing kind of with your PRS, I imagine.
It's a little brighter, which is good because every time I play guitar, it's like it sounds angry and sad. Like it sounds really dark.
Okay.
So it's actually really nice. The PRS is very bright, which is like, oh geez, my ears had to adjust to it, but then it, you know, I like it obviously. The only Les Paul that I haven't owned too many, but I had like a, what the hell was it called? It was a studio, you know, like the Bob Marley Les Paul, you know, with the two P90 pickups, with the brown, just, I was a Bob Marley fan, so I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this guitar. Sure. So I ended up buying that. That's like, that one was awesome. And I kind of, I regret, getting rid of that. But like, what does the Les Paul do that, like, obviously a Strat and a Les Paul are different things, but like, what does the Les Paul do? Is it just, it's everything? It feels great in your hand. What is, do you have a certain?
What I like about it, so for one, mine's a Frankenstein a little bit. So mine's, I got it in a resale shop without knowing what it was. And then I kind of learned what it was later.
Okay.
But probably not everybody would buy it that way, but I liked it, so I bought it. And then I have later on figure out what the hell it was. So it's, first of all, it's chambered, so it's not heavy like your normal Les Paul.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It had single coil pickups on it when I bought it, and it had that like whatever 60 hertz hum or whatever we get through. It's sucked. I hated it. You know, there's literally like, it just, if you weren't playing, and there's parts where you want to be quiet.
Yeah.
Right? You want to like, it's dramatic when you abruptly stop and then you sing or whatever the hell, and then you start playing again. That adds depth to your music. Well, you'd stop and then you just hear, and it was just, I hated that. But I loved the tone. So I went to a guitar shop in Chicago that does good work, and they were just like, oh, you need double coil pickups, and double coil pickups will cancel out that sound. I know a dude in Iowa that makes them by hand. You'll like them. Okay. So I don't even know what the hell's on the guitar. Some dude did it, and it's great, and I'll never be able to duplicate it if something happens to it, so I better take good care of it. But you know, that's, and I love the kill switch on it. Not that you can't put a kill switch on any other guitar, but you know, that's kind of how I can pull off some of the stuff I try to do without it just being awful. You know, there's a lot of times where, you know, especially you're running through the crowd, or if you're, you know, I never got super good at moving the volume knob with my pinky. Okay. You know, that's just not, some people, that's like a legitimate hidden skill that most people don't realize they have. It's easier for me to just flip the damn thing off, you know, it's either on or it's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that. And it's a nice gimmick too, when I'm going around in the audience, you know, I can have anybody play it. because if you don't know how to play guitar, I'll just say, well, just strum it. And then I'll just turn the kill switch on and off.
Sure.
And you can't do that more than once or twice per show, right? Because but that's a gimmick. Yeah. But you literally can go up to anybody then. You could play. I don't play. No, I'll make you not sound like dog shit. Just play the damn thing. And then they play it. And then the face of not just them, but like the people sitting with them or whatever is very fun to watch. Because the faces like will light up. Yeah. They'll be like, well, you just play guitar. How the fuck did you do that? You know? And you don't need to, if you just make noise and then you do the kill switch, it's cool. I can control the rhythm with that. And I can make the rhythm fit in with the song. And then it's just, now we're Tom Morello for a few minutes or for a few seconds or whatever, you know? And obviously, he's an amazing guitar player, not taking anything away from him, but you get what I mean. He can make some weird noises, and they make a lot of the songs really cool. And the actual guitar itself is a 2011, obviously Les Paul BFG Gator, and I think the BFG might stand for Billy F. Gibbons from ZZ Top, but I don't actually know. I don't really know. And if it does, well, that's too damn bad because I put my name in the inlays.
Yeah,
so that's my fucking guitar.
I was going to ask you that. How did you obviously had to send that out somewhere, and they put that in there? Or?
The same shop that did the Iowa thing.
Okay.
You know, they got a lot of luthiers there. Like, I mean, it's in downtown Chicago. For them to be able to keep their space, they probably got to have a decent amount of skill and stuff that they get done on a week amount of, you know what I mean? Like it's a legitimate business that has, you know, probably thousands of dollars of rent a month, and that's all they do. So they're good at it. And I had them do it to my electric and my acoustic. So they both have, you know, because I have a primary of each, like, you know, and my acoustic is a Yamaha, and Yamaha's, their model numbers, I'll never remember. It's like 4X29L3 or whatever, you know, like it's my guitar. That's all that matters, you know, and like I have it written down somewhere in case like it ever gets lost or whatever. But like my acoustic guitar that I've written almost every song on, and at least initially and stuff, you know, and it's just a rock and roll acoustic guitar, and I love it. I beat the shit out of that acoustic guitar, and it's fine. Yeah. You know, that's not a pretty acoustic guitar. It's, you know, it's made to strum chords, you know, hard, you know, like when I play it, I mean, I should show you, like, this isn't a played pick. When I play that, the pick whittles down, you know, like it actually, like, you know, I play with these 0.73s, you know, which is kind of a thicker pick. It's not this thick. It's not like a bass pick, but like a lot of guitarists use these, but a lot of them use thinner ones, you know, like there's not a lot of give here. And like, they just whittles them the fuck after playing like for 10 minutes, you can tell, like, it's just, and I love that. I love, you know, there's a big crack in it that I had to get filled, like that. You look at that guitar and you're like, that guitar's been played. That's not like a $5,000 Martin guitar that you got to be careful around. You know, that's the minivan that you throw your drums into, not, you know, the sports car that you gotta, you know what I'm saying? And I love that about it. So
it does the thing, man, and it's got mojo.
It does the thing.
You know, it's got mojo.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be.
Look at Willie Nelson's guitar.
Oh yeah, Trigger. Yeah, that thing is. That thing's on life support, and it's been on life support for like 40 years. Yeah, you play 73s, and I think I used to at some point. I have, what do we got here? These are 114s. I play giant picks because I I'm getting better at, and part of what I'm trying to do on the guitar is not, I would just mash the fucking thing. I beat the absolute shit out of it all the time. So I got these big giant picks. I got carpal tunnel so like some, you know, I gotta like, so I'm trying to like figure out and like actually learn something, you know, and try to play a little lighter. So like, yeah, for like playing acoustic, I got these really light picks and it is weird, but I'm trying to like actually learn shit. So
well, it's good. You always got to be learning new stuff, you know, with everything in life, you never know it all. So
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then one more thing in the nerdistry is you just straight in, right? You know pedals or nothing, right?
I know. I mean, I've got my wireless, and that's a given that I probably don't need to say, but that's it.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Yeah, I've never really played in a band that I could do that, but I like shit. I like to tinker with shit. So like does that Black Stars have reverb or is that a non-reverb? I can't remember.
No, they don't really. I don't think, if they do, I don't use it. I don't think it does. Yeah, I mean, you play a lot of shows where you got a 15-minute changeover.
Yeah.
You know, that's normal local band industry standard.
Yep.
And I'm usually trying to coordinate more than just my gear. Like I have to get my gear in line. We don't have a set list ever. Like we don't ever go on there with a set list. I make all this shit up on the spot.
Oh, no kidding.
And I look at the crowd. Yeah, I look at the crowd and I think, what will they respond to right now? You know, if they're getting into something we're doing, we'll do a little more of that. If we're lulling them to sleep, we'll change it up, you know? And I mean, even the song lengths can change, you know, based on some, you know, I tell everybody, watch me. And like, that's how, like when we had our situation with the drummer in Michigan that had never even heard our music playing original songs with us, it was, I'm trying to do my best to conduct, you know, I'm not just trying to worry about the audience. I'm also like, when I announce, all right, this next song is called this, that's not for you guys. That's because the band has no idea what's next, you know? It's just like, it's your responsibility if you're in OUTDrejas to just know all the songs.
I love it.
Know these songs. And so there's a lot that I'm thinking about before a show. You know, I'm thinking, all right, how do we want to do a dramatic entrance of some kind? Sometimes it's kind of fun to start playing outside of the venue and just come in through the front door and just, hey, everybody, and then just go on stage and start singing because you get people's attention, you know, like that's an old blues trick that, you know, like Buddy Guy or whoever that's the kind of shit they used to do. They make it long and drawn out though. Like when I saw BB King, he had his band play for 15 minutes before he came on stage.
Huh.
You know, that's a little ridiculous, but that's also BB King. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I'm worried about, you know, that I'm thinking in my head. You know, there's certain people and maybe so-and-so's favorite song is this, and maybe I want to tribute, you know, like not like it made a big deal to anybody or not like, you know, anybody even necessarily noticed. But like, even when we played the one show, you know, after Josh, you know, about Josh, like that, you know, this particular song is dedicated to him for this reason. You know, we played another show and I think it was a year later after, and it was like, hey, just want to keep this guy, you know, in your thoughts and in your hearts. And he liked this song. So this is, and that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to remember that. What am I thinking of maybe? So I don't want to, I've had pedals that just, you know, you get one out of sync and then the whole damn thing doesn't work. And I don't want to fuck with that. You know, I'm worried about other shit that to me is more important than having a little bit of effect in a song. You know, I got to make sure the show goes smoothly.
Right.
Just make the I want it to make noise, and we're good. And so that's, kind of why at least I have a reason,
Look, that's what it is. That's you straight in on the crunch channel or whatever the hell it is. That's it does
the bottom right one. I don't even know the one on the bottom right.
Exactly. That does exactly what you need it to do. It does the thing, right?
It does the thing. The only thing I've thought about adding to it is a volume switch, because I tell sound guys, make me as loud as you can without ruining the whole band sound. That's my instructions I always give. Just like, I make me as loud. I can't know because I'm on stage. Like if we were big enough where we just had a sound dude, or like when we play back bar, like obviously Michael, knows our sound.
Yeah.
So like he's always super cool, and he's active too. Like he'll turn you up on a solo and he'll turn you back down. But if most time you can't ever expect that on this level.
Yeah.
You can't really expect that unless you're paying somebody to do that for you. It's always just a courtesy that you have to appreciate. You can't expect that. So we sometimes will run into issues where you can't really hear my solos that well because I'm mixed as a rhythm guitar player. It'd be nice for me to, even if I just had just switch channels, just volume boost. All right, back to
Yeah.
I've thought about that, but I also move around so much on stage. I don't really like having a pedal that I can trip on either. So, it still tinkering with that'd be my next tinker. That would be, it wouldn't be to add necessarily a reverb or a flanger or whatever. It would be just, can I make myself really, really loud on command,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The less stuff, and you're the only guitar player and you are also the front guy. So I totally get it. You want it as easy as possible. I want to plug the thing in. I want it to make sound, and we're going to get on with the damn thing. Totally understand it, so I don't have that problem.
Well, and a lot of my solos, I try to make them into this big dramatic thing. Not that I do or don't, but that's the intent, So like, it's more dramatic if you're on your knees with your eyes closed and your mouth wide open and you're banging your head up and down. That makes it dramatic, even if what you're playing sucks. But if what you're playing doesn't suck, then it makes it that much better. But if people can actually hear it, now it's even better than that. So like that's, I think it's, at least our songs, I think the solos on them it's probably 80-90% attitude anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the 20% that is actually the notes in the solo, a lot of times they'll mix you so you sound good as a rhythm section, which makes sense. And then you just kind of lose that. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what guitarist doesn't want their solo to be heard loud and clear, so.
Yeah, you have to take that into your own hands. You know what you could do? And it's kind of, when I say this, I understand that it's going to sound kind of dickish, but it's for the greater good. You could put you could give a boost pedal to either Tyler or Ani, and because they know the songs. When a solo's coming, you could just, hey, could you hit this thing for me? And you just put it right over by them. They'll just be hitting a thing, and your guitar will be louder, and no one will know the difference. And then when it's time to go back out of the solo, then they go ahead and hit the thing. It's just an idea. I don't know.
I've thought about that, and I mean, I don't know, that would be enticing too. Even if I just put it over there and I just said, hey, can you do it if I don't? Or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could challenge Jeremy. Hey, you can use your feet, right?
You're already a monkey doing 4 different things. Do one more, dance monkey.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were good at drums. You should be able to do this, right?
That would be doing him dirty, but it would be hilarious. Even if you just suggested it and you're kidding, and you just wanted to see like in a practice session or something like that, it would be hilarious.
He's competitive enough with like himself, which is a good trait. It pushes. It's self-motivating. He probably would. Just give him enough shit, and he probably would just take it upon himself to be like, you know what? As a fuck you, I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to do a really good job. And that's going to be the way I say fuck you, and that would be kind of how he would probably play that, So I don't know.
And either way, your life becomes easier.
Yeah. I mean, they already, man, we get to a show. Usually Ani and Tyler are there early. They already got the merch set up. So I walk into a show and the merch is like set up.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. And then they help me carry my stuff in. And wow, all right. So I already am overly pampered for the local scene. They take care of me. I try to help them and they're like, I don't need your help. Like, I guess I'm a shitty helper. So they just are like, we're good. So I stopped feeling bad about it. I just decided, all right, whatever. I felt bad for the first 30 shows, and I'm like, whatever. They're stronger. They're stronger than me.
Nice.
Tyler's a farm boy, So he's got those farm muscles.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said again, you got a goddamn good band. So obviously they're taking not only on stage but off of it as well. So
I try not to take them for granted, either, because like I definitely have been in situations where I didn't have them, and I mean I've been through just the nature of, like I said, the origin of the band. It's just, not everybody was necessarily a wonderful musician, and it wasn't necessarily the requirement either. I mean, a lot of times you just need somebody that cares enough to actually learn how to play a song correctly. It's not, I think that's what a lot of people don't really get. It's not like you need to be, the second coming of Joe Satriani or something to be in a local band. You just maybe don't be the guy that takes a ton of solos until you have a little bit of chops or something, but like it shouldn't keep you. You're not going to get better if you don't join it. If there's a version of you that ever wants to be that person, just go join a band and suck for a little while. It'll be fine. It'll be fun.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I think a lot of people get caught up with that. You can't be a perfectionist if you're a musician. You're going to fuck up more than you don't. So.
Yeah, and the two, like you.
It's time. That time passed. You fucked up. That part's over now. I'm sorry. You were going to say though.
No, it's all I was going to say. I've said it on the show before, but it's just like, your first band, or whatever. When you join, you always suck pretty much. There's exceptions to that rule, but you're going to suck. But that's what do you do to get better at being a musician? You play with other musicians that are better than you. So right. you can't do that until you start playing with other musicians. So,
and you record yourself. I've noticed.
Yeah,
that was a big eye opener for me. So first time I was trying to record to a click was we were doing Promise, okay. And like I said, I try not to think of myself as like this ultra amazing guitar player because you can get humbled real fast on the internet,
Yep.
And, but I also, you think yourself in a certain light, right? And I remember I couldn't play the 4 power chords in Promise in time. Took 2.5 hours. And there probably was a little studio magic with it too. Cause like you got to hear yourself messing up. You might not hear that you're 20 milliseconds off on your attack. You might not hear that originally, you know, and you got to like, it's almost a skill just to close your eyes, put on a pair of good headphones and just listen and go, that doesn't sound amazing, and be able to pick apart why in your playing. Because you can't fix what you don't know is broken. And then you work really hard. When you're playing air guitar, you're playing it to attack on the right spot. You know, when you're drumming on you focus on the rhythm. And if you have that rhythm, you're fine. You don't need to do anything else. You could literally play any instrument if you have your rhythm that locked in, and you have just a little bit of desire to know what the, you know, notes you got to play. You know, I mean, that's it. That's all that it is. I didn't know that. So that to me was the biggest learning curve I can remember was that realization of like, wow, I kind of suck. Like this, I can't play power chords. I've been playing power chords for years, but I can't, like, I'm humbled. I can't play power chords in time, you know, and you work hard at it. And then not like you're always going to be perfect, but you know, that goes back to your bad is way better than it was, you know? So now your good might still be here, but your bad goes up to here. Yeah. And now this is your, you know, and that's, I don't know, that's the name of the game, you know? Have you ever heard of a bad Foo Fighters concert? No. Probably not. No. The dude broke his fucking leg and came back and rocked it. I mean, that's, you know, but I'm sure some of their shows have had to have been better than others. Like, it's just that their bad is just really good. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that takes a lot of work just to get to that point. Yeah. You know, you're 70%, maybe 70% to you, but you know, that's still better than somebody's 100. So, you know, right. You get to that point with experience and all that stuff. And, you know, it's natural, you know, for sure. So
you gotta be open to hearing your mistakes, but you also gotta be open to hearing when you don't make mistakes. You know, there's a balance. You can't be too hard on yourself, or you'll never play in front of anybody, and you'll never put yourself out there, and you'll never, you know, you'll just sit in the bat cave all day and, you know, and only Alfred will ever hear you, you know, but you also can't be, you know, we've all seen that guy. You don't want to be that guy either, where you go out and you're playing and it's like, oh, that guy, like, you don't want it that either. So you got a healthy balance of being able to shit on yourself and being able to recognize, like, I did a halfway decent job there, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. You can't, you know, you can't be too high because you'll get humbled, you know, but I mean, you can, you know, self-deprecating humor.
Or you'll look like a jerk.
What was that?
Or you'll just look like a jerk.
Well, yeah. And I'm sure I've looked like a jerk.
It's worse. That's worse. You're out trying to get fans, and you look like a jerk. Yeah. No one wants to be your fan if you look like a jerk. You know, the hell are you out? Why are you out playing? No, everyone hates you now. You're a jerk. You know, so that's we've all seen those guys. Yeah. You know, hopefully not too many times, but they pop up.
Absolutely, they do. Well, we're going to run down. We're getting close here. I think we've been yakking for 2 hours plus. So, I definitely appreciate, the time you've given me for sure. But I got a question I got to ask you. I watched most of your live stream that you did last week, and you put it in there real quick, and I latched onto that son of a bitch because I knew I was going to talk to you. I have an affinity for Limp Bizkit as well.
They're my guilty pleasure, man. I feel like they are the worst music I listen to, and I love it. And I don't know if I just offended anybody or offended you by saying that, but like when I listen to this, I'm like, why do I not only like this? Why do I love this? What the hell is wrong with me? But if you like something, if you enjoy music, then enjoy it. Don't. So that's how I've always felt. I didn't like them for a while, and then I actually gave them a chance, and then I was embarrassed that I liked them. And now I know all the words to like probably 7 or 8 tunes, which is more than a lot of other bands.
I love Limp Bizkit, and I've loved Limp Bizkit since the early. I don't know. Did you ever get into any sort of like skateboarding culture at all?
I mean, I played Tony Hawk. That was about it.
Fair enough. So
I bought a skate $3. I spent $3, and it was at Marshall's, and I found out I can't even stand on it, and I just stuck with Tony Hawk.
Hey, that'll work. Well, you then know what Thrasher magazine is, right?
Heard of it.
Okay, fair enough. That's all you need. Okay, anyway.
I'm more no Goldfinger because of Tony Hawk.
Oh,
do you remember
man.
that?
Oh yeah. I love Goldfinger too. I could go on for days about 90s everything music, but the Limp Bizkit thing came from Thrasher magazine at first, because they would put in the back of Thrasher magazine. Now this was 97, I think. They did a review of $3 Bill Y'all, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, I didn't even hear them. So then, like, I went online, and this was, early days of the internet. So like a 30-second clip would take hours. Painful to try to, and it sucked. The quality was terrible. So I just got this little microcosm of probably counterfeit. And then a friend of mine, she goes, yeah, I bought this CD. It was something I thought it was something else. I don't really like it. And I was like, well, what is it? She's like, Limp Bizkit. I said, I will take it. So I've been on the Limp Bizkit bandwagon for over 20 years. So I've been in
that's cool.
I've been in the rise with Faith. They got really big, and then Significant Other and Nookie came out, and then people started figuring out that Fred Durst was kind of a dickhead, and then the other album, and then Wes Borland, and then everybody turned on him. Then it gets too overexposed.
That's when I got into him.
See, it gets overexposed.
I got into him. Everyone had already turned on him.
Ah, okay.
And then I heard him, and I was like, fuck, I like it.
See, and I went off that once Wes Borland left the band, I kind of was just like, well, okay, but then Wes came back, and then I think they had an album or two, but then like Gold Cobra came out like 2011 or something like that. And that shit slams. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I love it. It's so goddamn ridiculous, but the music, the band, say whatever you want about Fred Durst, but the band has always just been fucking killer.
They're good. You know who I get made fun of a lot for liking, and I'm less ashamed about it than Limp Bizkit, is Creed. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Bullets. I'm talking about What If. I'm talking about Are You Ready? I'm talking about some of those songs. My Own Prison. They rock. They are. I think they might have overplayed the slower ballady-ish songs a little bit, and that might have been combined with Scott Stapp being like almost like Christian preaching, but then having an alcohol problem on top of it, and being able to perform at shows. Like, that wasn't a great look.
No.
But that was good. I mean, that's Alter Bridge without Miles Kennedy. These other three guys are there, and that I don't care what anybody says. I love. I've only heard that fourth album they came out with like 10 years later, like only once or twice. It was okay. But the first three albums, I'm a fan, man. I don't care what anybody says. You can make fun of me.
No.
You can make fun, and I don't get mad if I hear someone make fun of Creed. But I like it. I'm into it. And I've been in. That was my first CD, and I'm sticking with it.
Hey, there you go. No, I got Creed story too. I like Creed, and then you go through the thing where it's like, oh, they suck, and then it's just like, well, they kind of Scott Stapp went off the rails a little bit. You know, the Yarling, I guess you can maybe take only so much. That's fine. But yeah, and then like recently, maybe within the last couple years, I've like revisited it. Like What If is just fucking killer. That's that riff. It's fucking heavy and it's so good. And then, yeah, My Own Prison, the holy shit. That's so good. My Creed story is I saw them at Summerfest in like 1997. And it was super awesome. Cold actually played before them, but do you remember the band?
Okay.
Cold? Okay. It was before they were like gothy. So like Scooter Ward had a cowboy hat on and he played an SG and they were super depressing. It was like, if you were in a good mood and you listened to that album, their first album, Cold album, you would want to kill yourself. But then if you were in a horrible mood and you listened to it, it would make you feel better.
Okay.
So anyways, Creed played and I caught one of Scott Phillips's drumsticks. So the only time
that's cool.
And
I got a Brian Marshall pick.
Oh, really?
Not as cool as a drumstick, but they're still cool. They played at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee while I was at Marquette. I went to Marquette, and I was on I was still in the dorms. So you interact with a lot of people when you live on a dorm floor. They were also, they had activities that tried to bring you guys together and everything, So everybody knew I liked Creed, and they all thought Creed sucked. So when Creed came to town, they couldn't get people to go see Creed for free. So I got free floor tickets just because I was the only guy that liked Creed on the floor. And I couldn't get anybody to like really go with me. Like that, like you know what I mean? Like I think I had 4 tickets. One of the things I'm bad at is remembering who I went to concerts with. So I offend people all the time with that. I never remember who was there with me. But I don't know if just get engulfed in the music, I guess. I don't know why. But I rate concerts from 1 to 10 after I see them in my head. I don't really share that a lot of times with people because, if they ask, I will. I don't share it with the local bands necessarily, but you're analyzing it, and if you're thinking that deeply about it, you're engaged in it, Mm-hmm. And I rated Creed that night at 10 out of 10, and I don't give those away. Most of the time, I give a band a 6 or 7 if I really, and that's if I enjoy the show a lot. And they blew me away. Their whole stage setup was awesome. The whole stage, all the lights moved up and down like 50. And there was no one there to see it. I saw them later and they were like a 7, but that night, I don't know what the hell happened. And the Bradley Center, they didn't let anyone into seats. That's how little people came. And it was about an 1/8 full of the floor, an 1/8. It was not, it would have been a good show for us to play. Yeah. We would have had, but there wasn't more than probably 2,000 people there. And it's the Bradley Center. That's a big basketball arena, or it was. Yeah. Rest in peace. But, I don't know. Maybe it was just really intimate because of that, but that was probably one of the better concerts I've ever seen in my whole life was free Creed.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I think
that's why I got the guitar pick, because there was no one else there to get it.
Yeah, right. You didn't have to trample anybody. It was just there.
No, nobody else wanted it. I was just, I'll take it. Yeah.
Well, before we sign off completely, Dave, I'm gonna give you a little plug what you want to plug if you have anything you want to plug, and then we'll call it a night.
We have a lot of music out there streaming, and if you watch the show this long, you should let me know, because I will send you a free gift in the mail. And you should also go check that out. But yeah, if you want, let me know if you watched it all the way to this point. that's super appreciated by me and by Johnny, and we want to reward you. So, yeah, if you send me a message or something and get me an address, even if it's just a little guitar pick or something, we'll send you something for your troubles. We appreciate it. And Folsom Prison is our newest song, streaming. And Call Out My Name is Cool Original we wrote, and Promise is a Cool Original we wrote. And if you're into any of that, then check it out. And if you're not, then hopefully you like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or The Office, because we did Dayman in The Office theme too. So that's my plug. I'm sticking to it.
There you go. You couldn't say it any better. David Drejas, everybody. Go look them up and find their shit. They're awesome.
I want to plug one more thing. I've been working on the OUTDrejas website. We have a store. It's live. I'm adding more. There's only a couple things on there. I'm adding more stuff every week. So that's cool. But there's also, I made a games page. So if you want to play an OUTDrejas game, go to the website and click on games. I'm adding more games too. So right now we got a word search.
Beautiful. That's awesome. All right, there you have it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for part 2 with David Drejas from OUTDrejas. I hope everybody enjoyed our conversation. I definitely did. He's a great dude. Go check out Drejas out. They just released Folsom Prison Blues. It is featuring Dave Rowe. He played bass with Johnny Cash. And now he played bass on a Johnny Cash song with OUTDrejas. So how cool is that? All right, little housekeeping stuff real quick. If you want to follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Podcasts in My Monitor. If you want to follow me, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, I'm at the Johnny Ruckish, I should say. Easy enough for me to say. Twitch.tv/the Johnny Ruckus. On YouTube, you'll just have to search YouTube. I'm not a big enough deal for that yet. And then I actually just started a page on Parler, so I'm at the Johnny Ruckus on Parler. If you venture in that area, I don't have the graphic yet, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully, I got some new people, and I definitely appreciate you stopping by and taking a listen. Listen to OUTDrejas, and just remember, be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Bye now.